By the end of this video, you'll have all the tools you need to conquer the false grip and take your ring training to the next level. Here's what we'll be covering today. What is a false grip and why is it necessary? How to perform and train the false grip, drills and tricks, and finally, some common mistakes and some pro tips to help you out.
First off, let's take a look at exactly what the false grip is. Basically, it's a specific hand position that allows your wrist to sit on top of the rings, giving you a mechanical advantage for movements like muscle-ups, forward rolls, and backward rolls. Without the false grip, you'd need way more pulling strength to transition above the rings. This is why it's so important to make sure that you can do it properly. Here's Ryan showing how to perform the false grip.
The easiest way that I found to get into the false grip is simply take your hand and you're going to place the ring right here in between your thumb and your forefinger and grab at the top of the ring. From here, you're simply going to pull down. And you're going to find that the ring is going to fit very nicely in the crook of your wrist. And this is what you want. So, showing you here, think of ring is here. You're just going to pull down into the ring this way. And you just do that with both hands, and you'll be right there in a nice false grip.
Yes, the false grip can feel painful at first, and blisters are common, but your body adapts quickly. So don't give up. Here's how you can start to train the false grip.
The false grip can be quite tough if you're not used to it. Well, one way that I like to train it is to just start with your feet on the ground, and you're going to go ahead and just grab in the false grip. From here, work on hanging. So this is the starting position, is right here, okay? Don't want to have a lot of pressure on there, but then you can just gradually, slowly lower yourself into the bottom position. Now, once you do get to that bottom position and you're used to it, then you can bring your legs out in front. And this is where you're really starting to load this position. You can also start working on turning your hands. This is also going to be a really good stretch for the forearms. It's going to help with the elbows as well as the biceps.
By the way, we prefer to use wooden rings so that your wrists don't slide as much as they would on plastic rings. You can even use chalk.
Chalk is great. Why? Because it dries our hands out and allows us to be able to grip the rings for a longer period of time. Personally, nowadays, I don't use chalk. Simply that whenever I'm using the rings, I just simply make sure that my hands are dry. But as you start working on these movements, you'll probably notice that you'll want to be sure that you can hang on as tightly as possible. And so this is where chalk can really come into play here and help you out. It all comes down to, again, of the concept of safety. Make sure that your hands are dry and make sure that your rings are dry. I prefer to use the wooden rings, okay? But if you're using something like plastic, or maybe you're outside and you're using metal rings, just make sure that they're not slick. Oh, again, this is where chalk can be of benefit if you're using the rings.
One way to help prevent blisters is to take a thin piece of rubber, place it over the main part of the ring that your hand will be in contact with, and that should help you to keep your hands from ripping. Speaking of rips, here's some advice from Ryan on how to handle rips.
I want you to take a look at Joe's hands. So, show us your hands. Wow. The reason I'm just showing you this is that, yes, over time, you're going to have to build up calluses. And you're going to have trouble with your hands and those calluses ripping. As a matter of fact, that's what they're called, rips, where they can bleed. When that happens, give yourself a break. Don't just try and work through it. Because the thing is, those can get pretty bad if you don't give yourself time to heal. Back in my gymnastic days, I had practice the next day and we just had to deal with it. But what we used to do is we would take Vaseline, put them on those rips. We'd wear gloves to bed. So overnight we would put Vaseline on it. Is that the best thing? Maybe not. But it did help a little bit with the healing process, okay? We're not gymnasts, okay? Chances are, neither are you. So rather than working through that, give yourself time to heal. Work at a pace that's going to allow your hands to naturally callus up and get strong so that you don't rip. This kid, however, has a video shoot to do, so he has to deal with it.
All right, now let's take a look at some of the other tricks that we've used to help our clients master the false grip. By the way, we offer all of these and more in our muscle up course. Check the description for more info. First off, we have the tennis ball trick. Place a tennis ball between your palm and the ring to help simulate the position of the false grip. So you can do drills like false grip hang and the false grip chest to rings hold. And both of these can help for building up your positioning, and you can also use them for endurance work for your false grip. You can also, of course, do regular pull-ups using the tennis ball to keep your false grip in place. The false grip ring row is another great tool for building up your false grip, especially if the pull-up feels tough to start with. So you'll set up your false grip as usual and perform a regular ring row, but maintaining your false grip. This is also a great tool for building up your false grip endurance in general. You can also work on false grip hangs. Just spending more and more time in the false grip position can help build endurance and resilience over time. Start with short sets to build strength and slowly increase the difficulty from there. Common mistake I see is not fully committing to your false grip. Your wrist has to stay locked in place on top of the ring. Pro tip, if your grip feels weak, focus on squeezing through your pinky to improve your tension and control. Focus on these things and you'll be well on your way to mastering the false grip.
And now it's your turn. So be sure to try out all the drills that we shared in this video and let me know how it's going in the comments below. And by the way, be sure to watch this next video because it's going to help you to master the muscle up.